29, 2025. Join us for the Growth Starter Pack on INCRadio, the next level you. Be a problem solver on Monday. Protect your core on Tuesday. Actively pursue growth on Wednesday. Be grateful, stay humble on Thursday. And keep your circle clean on Friday. So catch us every Monday to Friday, 10:30 p.m. Philippine time, only here on IC Radio, the next level you.
This is INC Radio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ, or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Half a day, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all those tuning in. Welcome to Micronesia's INC Radio Satellite Studio. If you are new to our channel, I'm Sister Anne from the local congregation of Machinao, and tonight's topic is very timely. But before we do mention the topic for this evening, I do want to introduce my crew members here with me, starting with Sister Faye.
Good evening po, everyone. My name is Sister Faye Dinogid, and I am part of the multimedia crew here in the District of Micronesia, and I'm so happy to be part of this broadcast today.
Yes, thank you, Sister Faye. And for everyone viewing, Sister Faye will also be our guest for the evening. So we want to thank her for being here with us this evening. I do also have my YouTube engager here tonight, Sister Gwen.
Greetings, Micronesia. I am Sister Gwyneth Yumo from the locale of Guam. And tonight I am your YouTube engager, and I am excited for tonight's broadcast and to see all of your wonderful comments.
Yes, thank you, Sister Gwen, and to all of our crew members. Now we want to finally announce the topic for this evening, which is finding the beauty in new beginnings. And as I mentioned earlier, this is a very timely topic, and I think for a lot of us, it's something that we really need to talk about. So I'm really excited to hear what our guest has to say about starting fresh, because we know it's not the easiest thing to do, right? And that goes for every aspect about life. So without further ado, let's dive right into our discussion. So I want to ask Sister Faye, in life, things can't always go our way, and there's times when we won't always be successful, right? And we know that failure is just a part of life. It's normal for us. So what would you do if you knew you could not fail?
Thank you, Sister Anne. That's a very good question and a very deep one. I had to really think about this earlier because I feel like this is a question you just can't like just say whatever you want to say. You really have to think about it because your answer will really tell you who you are,
Yes,
and what
that's
you
true.
value. And so if if I knew that I wouldn't fail in whatever I would do, I do what is the most difficult and
Yeah.
the most challenging, like being a doctor or something like that, or even finding a cure to something.
Yes.
When I was researching earlier, so like Alzheimer's disease still doesn't have a cure, so that would be something that I'd want to do.
Yes, yes, that's very true. And I also want to mention something that kind of connects to what you're saying, and it's about a speech about someone that inspired. I'm not gonna directly say what he said, but he said something along the lines where his dad, he always wanted to have this the specific career, right? And he wanted that, but it wasn't because it wasn't stable or something that was safe for him. He went for a job in a career that was more safe and stable, right? But he ended up failing in that. So what he said was that if you can fail at something that you don't want to do, you might as well fail at something that you do love. But because we are members of the Church of Christ, right, we have a different perspective when it comes to that, in a sense where if we had the mindset that we would never fail, we would live our lives completely differently, right? But because we know that God will never allow us to fail, or if we keep taking like the wrong turn, or diverting ourselves to something else. It's God's plans that are always perfect, right? And eventually God will always want us to win in the end, so it truly will never fail at anything in life.
Exactly. Yeah. And
Yes.
as members of the Church of Christ, like hearing that question, because in your mind you do know that even if you're going through like tests and trials, some people they might think that, oh, I'm failing,
Yeah.
but really actually this is part of the perfect plan of our Almighty God. So
Yes.
you're never really failing.
Yes,
So
like
that's like, especially as members of the Church of Christ, that's a great like that's something that we're all always thinking about and that we know and we have confidence in.
yes, that's why it's good to always have that trust, because it's part of the process, like what you said. But we know sometimes it's hard to find that shift to always think positive, right, and change that mindset. So how do you deal with things not going your way or finding closure itself?
Ever since I was younger, one of our artists she gave us a journal, and from that point, I've been writing down everything. It started off going from writing everything I did, every detail within the day, and then it just started getting more to if I feel sad or there's something that I really need to like think about.
Hmm.
So what I'll do, I'll write down like what is it that I'm feeling, and then I'll try to understand why am I feeling that way,
Yes.
and then I'll try to write down the steps to help me what I can do. And from that journaling from when I was younger until now, it has developed a lot. And so now I do have like a list of things that I can do
Yes.
when I start to go through something
Yeah.
challenging.
And anxieties.
Yes,
Yeah.
and so one of the first thing, the very first thing on my list is to pray, and
Hmm.
then to just write down the things that I'm blessed with, in the moment, and so
Yes.
that really does help. And then from that, you try to do more things that will make you happy, like watching a funny video or spending time with family or
Yes.
eating. And
Yes.
so just having all of that process will really help you deal with
Yes.
whatever you're going through.
Yes, that's very true. And I want to actually talk about this time when I was going through a hard time. And I think you could be a testament to that, because when I was going through that major moment, I remember you would wake me up in the morning and I'd be crying because like it was a big moment in my life, right? And I remember the first thing you told me when I wake up is uh, you said, Anne, write down all the things that you're thankful for today. And then I think that really helps you in times that like it's hard. And something that also kind of connects to this is that we've been watching this show together recently, and I think sometimes when you see like in the media, they always see how like the main character, they always get it on the first try, right? They get the job, they land it, they win the contest, everything. But the show that we've been watching recently, the main character, she fails, but she doesn't fail once, she fails multiple times. And I think I really appreciated that, because I think all of us can resonate to that, right? We don't fail just once in life, we keep falling. But it's even though in those moments it's so easy to put ourselves down, God lets us go through those rock bottom moments, because he knows that it's leading us towards something far greater and better. And I think we can attest to that in various experiences within our individual lives, right? um,
And I think so when we were watching that show, um the main character were me and her were actually going through the same thing.
yes,
We're actually studying for a huge exam in our life, and just like her, and just like her, I'm not able to pass on the first try, and that's okay. And
okay.
and the thing about that is that um like what I wanted to add on is that something someone told us is that when something that you're waiting for, um, or something that's meant to happen to you, that our Almighty God wants to happen for to you, before that happens, you have to go through severe
Yeah.
tests and trials, and it's gonna be very hard and very difficult. And even though that happened, even in last year, at the same time, our Almighty God blessed us with so much more,
Yeah.
that replaced like the sadness and not accomplishing what you want to accomplish. So it always makes up for it because you really feel that Almighty God will
Hmm. Yes.
will replace any sadness.
Yes. Sorry, guys. We're getting a little emotional on IC Radio, but it's so true what Sister Faye said. You really had to go through the unbearable circumstances in order to find to really experience that reward that God is planning for you, right? Because only He can see that. And
Yeah.
if you trust that, you know that He will eventually give it to you, then there's really nothing that we can
Yeah.
worry about.
And
And
then sorry,
yeah,
without those difficult moments, then you wouldn't appreciate
yeah, the
the
good
good
things in
ones,
life.
and it
Yeah.
makes it even more worth it. So I know
Yeah.
when it happens,
Yeah.
it'll really be a
Yes.
great moment.
Yes, and I think we can attest that like God has been really good to us lately, despite
Yeah.
going through hard times, right?
Yes.
But with that being said, with things coming to an end, how do you see beauty in new beginnings and welcoming a fresh start ahead?
I think it's very important for new beginnings to have a right perspective.
Mm.
So when I was trying to read earlier, um, it's important um, to try to remind yourself that your hope is bigger than your fears.
Yes,
And
that's
that
true.
goes perfect with what was taught to us in the past lesson. And um, so, for example, like something new is going to happen in your life, instead of worrying and saying, "What if I fail?" Right? Or what if
Yes.
I'm not gonna pass it? You always just think to yourself instead. Try to remind yourself of the hope. Like, what if it's even better than what I've imagined?
Yes, yes, that's the perfect mindset to have. And I think also as ministers' daughters, we aren't strangers to change. It's kind of as ironic as it sounds, it's the most consistent thing in
Yeah,
our life,
it's
right?
like a best friend.
Yeah, it's like our best friend. And I think it's a good thing because it allows us to challenge ourselves because change is uncomfortable, right?
Yeah, and it's growth.
Yeah, it's helping us grow, become better people, challenging ourselves because we never want to stay in our comfort zones, right? But when we hold on to that trust that everything will eventually fall into place, and what's meant for us will always be for us, right? I think that's also the secret to a peaceful and happy life, right? Always finding those things that are good in new beginnings,
Yeah.
even when some things end, right?
Yeah. And not
Um,
expecting like too much,
yes.
and just really being content with what you
Yes,
have.
yes, being very present and just being thankful for what you have right now. But to kind of close off our discussion, I want to ask Sister Faye, why do you feel it's essential to embrace this change in your life?
So, like what we were mentioning earlier, change is like growth, and sometimes change is invisible, and that's pretty much what it
Yes.
is. For example, like if someone's planting something, if you
Yes.
put a seed under the soil, you can't see that it's
That's
growing.
so true.
And
Yeah.
so I think that's why it's very important in life. It helps us grow, to experience things, sometimes the most painful things, but it helps us to understand others better and to try to be kinder. I know there's still things that I still have to work on in myself,
Yes.
but really with the change that we go through, it really helps give us that perspective that we need, so that even if we go through really difficult times, we're confident that we can do it. We can get over it because we've done it many
Yes.
times and times again, not because of ourselves, but because of our Almighty God.
Yes, that's completely true. And I think um, to kind of get some insight and also inspiration from our weekday worship services, I remember the minister said in detail during the worship services that um, when you pray for some when you pray for something, sometimes there are some people who, like, if they don't get their prayers answered right away, or they don't get what they want right away, they'll be like, oh, I won't follow anymore, or it makes them lose their faith, right? But I think in those moments you all the more have to have that trust, and your faith will be grow even stronger,
Yeah.
because you're just trusting that even though you're at the lowest point in your life, God will he will eventually make everything go well with us,
Yes,
right?
exactly. So
Yes.
that's why I think hope and having trust is very important in that process of change.
Yes, that's so true. So, I I love this conversation that we had because I think it's really something that we needed, and we hope that even our viewers tonight can also find inspiration in this conversation. So it was very heartfelt and uplifting, and I'm glad we were able to have that together because I know we've been so busy, we haven't been able to really reflect on
and
what's
really to
been
talk about.
going on. Yes.
Yeah, so this is a good reminder for us,
Yes.
even in this moment,
Yes.
with all the different changes.
Yes. Yes, it's truly a great reminder. So we hope everyone enjoyed this discussion. Unfortunately, we don't have time for our game, so we'll have to save that for next time. Now we want to see what you all have been saying in the YouTube comments with Sister Gwen.
Hey, Team Live Chat! Thank you for supporting us. We love hearing about your experiences here on INC Radio.
Let us also know where you are joining us from.
Are you familiar with our hashtag challenge? If not, you can also participate by mentioning your local congregation as well as which Christian family organization you belong to.
Near the end of our broadcast, we will announce the hashtag challenge winners, so please continue engaging with us in the comments below. We hope you have a nice day and enjoy our show.
Thank you so much po Kuya Tek, and now it's time to read all of your wonderful comments. So starting with Brother Julius Malabanan, who is greeting our District Minister Ka Joven and his family, and also to his awesome wife Ka Michelle and his daughter Bam Bam. And he also said, have a great show. Then we also have Ka Roger Manzanillo Jr., who I also want to mention is our first commenter for tonight's broadcast. Greeting from Guam and hello to our District Minister Ka Joven Cepilio Jr. and our Assistant District Minister Ka Joyce Malabanan. We also have Camanaleo Dinogan, who is saying, good evening po, happy viewing po. Then we also have an answer for our YouTube engagement question, which is, how do you see the beauty in starting fresh? In which Sister Randy Reyes said, the fact that I have a place to start is already beauty in itself. Then we also have a few shout outs. Sister Randy Reyes, who is commenting, good evening po. And she also said a great tip concerning our broadcast and our discussion. And she also said that she writes down things every day that she's grateful for. And then we have Sister Rose Andrada saying, hello po, brethren. Good evening, watching from the locale of Machanal. We also have Jessica Tulabut. Good evening, INC Radio Micronesia, watching from the locale of Machanal. We also have Brother Renzo, who said, good evening, Paul, watching from the locale of Coblerville. We also have our District Minister, Kajoven Cepilio Jr., saying, good evening, brethren. We have Karajo Manzanillo Jr. once again, who's watching from the locale of Mangilao, actually. We also have Sister Evelyn Cortez Barrientos. Good evening po from the locale of Coror. We also have Brother Ronald Carlos saying good evening po, happy watching po. And then last shout out is Brother Matt, who is hashtagging his locale Saipan and TSB and Kadiwa. Thank you, and I'm sorry that I wasn't able to read your comments. Back to Sister Anne.
Yes, and we will be having Sister Faye announce the CFO in action.
CFO in action.
Thank you, Sister Gwen. And so now let's see what our district has been up to in our CFO in action. So for our district, we recently had our monthly Kadiwa Binhi and book club meetings where the brethren were able to learn more about the various media platforms that the church has with all different types of content on Christian living. So we hope everyone enjoyed those activities. And now for Micronesia's lineup that we still have. Okay, upcoming, we have our EVM musical at the Manila House of Worship, where the brethren will be sharing their faith through musical scores. So we invite all of you to attend that on that day. And we also hope everyone is excited for these upcoming activities. Now we'll have Sister Gwen announce our most supportive vocal.
Thank you so much, Sister Faye, and we'll announce the most supportive, and our local hashtag winner next time. Back to Sister Anne.
Yes, thank you, Sister Gwen and Sister Faye. Now we would like to invite everyone to next week's broadcast, which will be on September 5th, 2025, Friday at 9:30 p.m. Chamorro Standard Time. And the topic is to be announced, so please stay tuned for that. Now, Sister Faye will start us off with our end of the show greetings and thank yous.
Okay, thank you, Sister Anne. We would first like to say a very special thank you to our beloved Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, and to our Deputy Executive Minister, Brother Angelo Iranio Manalo.
We also don't want to forget to thank and greet our District Minister, Brother Joven Cepilio Jr., our Assistant District Minister, Brother Joyce Malabanan, our CFO Overseer, Brother Roger Manzanillo Jr., our DMA Advisor, Brother Roger Villegas Jr., also our crew members from the island of Saipan. We have Sister Bam, Sister Jillian, Brother RY, Brother Matt, and also from the island of Guam, Sister Gwen, Brother Joff, Sister Arlene, Sister Anne, Sister Faye, Sister Marisol, Sister Randy, Brother Michael, and Brother Sean. Also our station manager, Brother Wally Taray, and our executive producer, Brother Emmanuel Andaya.
Yes, thank you, Sister Gwen, and to all our crew members for this evening. We hope everyone enjoyed our broadcast. But I'm sad to say that it's coming to a close. So I want to say good night, Micronesia. Coming up next is Florida Satellite Studio. Good night, everyone. Thank you for supporting.
Good night.